How y'all doing? Sassy Biggins here. I finally found a local article that, well, semi-local, an idea that it's very close to my heart, and it truly does embody we the people, or anything that surrounds big in the USA, and I truly mean the USA part. And the big could be anything from I'm in Texas, it's the biggest state, to size of my ass. So whichever, but just truly embodies true Americanism and just anything I would want to stand for. It's not often that I find articles that hit me like this, because most of the time it's about stuff that I just yawn and walk away from. But this one is not a yawning matter, I don't think. Now, this was written by the Washington Examiner. Take it for what you will. But this was about a school near me in Fort Worth. There was a substitute teacher, and she thought that she would help ICE out, as in immigration. All right, let's see here. Texas teacher invites ICE to her school over students who don't even speak English. Now, as we read, this is not like 5-year-olds. This is children who are basically the size of full grown adults that she is reporting. A teacher with the Fort Worth Independent School District in Texas posted on X, as in Twitter or X, for Immigration and Customs Enforcement to visit the school because some students don't even know English, according to a report. The teacher, a substitute at Northside High School. Northside is not that far from me at all. Let me just double check here on Google Maps. I mean, it's probably half an hour. Yeah, it's over by the stockyards, if you've ever been over there. Not exactly the nicest side of town, and it is known as Little Mexico, which makes this article even more relevant. Uh, The teacher, a substitute, not a full time teacher, at this school, is under investigation after the post and others related to President Trump's crackdown on illegal immigration. I love it. This quote from her: "Y'all should come to Fort Worth, Texas, Northside High School. I have many students who don't even speak English, and they're in the 10th and 11th grade." How old is that? 17, 16, 17 at least? Well, if they're, no offense to immigrants, but usually that also can mean they could be upwards of 20 years old, because they don't care how old they are based on their actual learning level. So you have full grown adults in this school unable to speak English. It goes on. The post on X said they have to communicate through their iPhone's translator with her. So they got to bring Google Translate so they can go to high school because their English is so poor. I can say from being in that area quite a lot, because some of my favorite thrift stores are over there. English isn't a priority. You can survive very nicely without knowing any English whatsoever. I've had to learn Spanish just so I can like maneuver through a store, or say like, "Excuse me, I'm just trying to get by," stuff like that. I mean, it's necessary for that area, so it does not surprise me that they have no working knowledge, even just like hi, hello kind of English, or yes, please, thank you kind of English, which I've had to learn in Spanish. And I live here in America. Should I say that again? I live in America. They're down the street from me. Very nice people. The shootings have lessened over the years. We'll say that. So there, no one's too happy about this woman posting on X. The Fort Worth ISD, their quote is saying that it's investigating the substitute for causing concern in the community. These people should have been concerned way before now. We are aware of a recent social media post referring to Northside High School, which was allegedly made by a substitute teacher and has caused concern among our Fort Worth ISD community, the district wrote. That's all they wrote. Here's why some of this per se would be a concern for me. When I still had the cashiering job, a lot of my customers, Monday through Friday, from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., we had to card them all because they all bought beer. But by doing this, we got, instead of seeing American driver's licenses or other government IDs, we saw border crosser, very new. It's like an ID, but it's not an ID. And all it said was the government knows they crossed the border under Joe Biden. They were all military aged men. And in other places I've heard or read, especially the Haitians, they try to go to high school, but they're all over the age of 19, military aged men, while still passing as young or trying to pass themselves off as younger kids, trying to get an education in America. Something that doesn't add up with some of these stories of, oh, poor illegals, oh, poor immigration. It's like, granted, at least the ones I know that I was carding, they were coming from jobs, very dirty manual labor jobs. But at the same time, if they wanted to uprise in any way or pull a Lake and Riley, there wasn't anything really to stop them. There was no social bond to the community. And based on how much that high school in that area, they're not creating bonds to the community. They don't even speak English. And I thought that at least one thing in common that we should have is communication. If somebody says something, they should know, is it good? Is it bad? Do they just need the bathroom? Something. Donde está el baño? The learning process should be a two-way street. And under the current system, it's not. And I understand the substitute teacher's fear and why she posted it on X. I've posted my same references to where I used to work, saying, hey, if you need to find them, here's like hundreds of them. I'm not talking like a handful here, people. I mean, she never said what percentage of the school was like that. Clearly not 100%, but if I had to guess, I'd say at least upwards of 60%, as high as that. They don't need English to live here. They don't need English to buy beer either, because a lot of us learned enough Spanish, or they tried to hire enough Hispanic kids who are bilingual to translate for the rest of us when we can't make a full sentence. This is real in Texas. And it's definitely probably doubly true in California, where anything can walk through the door. They'll use it to their advantage somehow. But just thought I should let people kind of think for themselves to where, if this was your community, is this what you want? Because what they don't emphasize in the article is this woman was living in daily fear of some every size child, because they're all said 10th grade and above. That's legally fighting age. And if it's those kids, they don't stop growing. They're all military sized, especially the ones that hit growth spurts early. They can take care of themselves. They can do whatever they want. And in a school, no offense to schools, but they're just prisons with nicer lawyers. So I don't blame this woman whatsoever, feeling like she was one, probably saving her country, protecting herself, and just trying to get rid of the fear and the whole bad situation of it, or draining of public resources. It's like, here we have American kids, we can't pay for them to go to school, but here we have all these people who don't want to assimilate getting all these benefits. It's like the system's going to break. Financially, there's a strain where it could snap the camel's back. She would know. She's in it. Now, we've heard all these concerns before. This is where the pedal hits the metal, you know? It's when it's my way or the highway. And clearly, under the current administration, there's going to be a lot of highway option. A lot of highway option. But yes, leave your comments below and ideas, thoughts of, would you be willing to stick your neck out this far to protect yourself and your community and just the economics of it all? Have a good one, folks. I got to get back to work.